No intro, straight to the review. This is the SOG Flash 1. Has aluminum handles, which are very nice. It has this beautiful graphite anodization. It's kind of a greenish gray. It's very pretty. It has a raised diamond texture here. This is not very grippy, it's not a very aggressive grip, but it's pretty nice. It's nice looking and it's functional. It works well enough. The quality of this finish is so nice. There's one little ding on it right there, and compared to my other knives like Benchmade right here that has lots of scrapes and dings and whatnot, I'm very impressed with the finish on this knife. Has these little inlays, like little details like that in my knives. It's not a flow-through design, but to me that's not a downside, that's just something to know. If you need to clean it, use a can of compressed air, or if you have an actual compressor, that's better. This knife is put together with hex screws. You can see there's a lanyard hole here, but it's so small that I don't know that you could actually use it for a lanyard. I was thinking about putting a little 550 cord extension so it fits in the hand a little better, but that hole is too small for that, as you can see. This knife total is 3.5 inches. See the ruler right there, or 3.25, sorry, which barely fits in my hand, but it's not too bad. This pocket clip here, I think, is the perfect pocket clip design. Perfect. It completely hides the knife in the pocket. It just buries it. You can't tell if I'm carrying a pen or a pocket knife, and it's so small, and the black color makes it so unobtrusive that you don't notice it. I barely notice it when I'm carrying it, except when I reach down and, oh, there's my knife. I wear this next to my cell phone, and it just disappears. The cell phone's here, and the knife is clipped, and it's invisible. That's good for situations where it looks weird carrying a knife, like say you're in a suit or business clothes, but you still want to have a knife on you. This is the knife for you. This clip is adjustable for right or left side. You can flip it over to here, but it's always tip-up carry, which is good. I prefer tip-up carry. It has a safety right here. Red means go. One thing I don't like about this safety, same as the Flash 2, is it has 2 clicks when you're disengaging it. There's one, so the knife can't open, but it clicked. And then 2, now the knife can open. And I don't really like that. I just leave the safety disengaged where I can open it whenever I want. If you don't like it, don't use it. The safety hasn't accidentally engaged on me, so it's not a problem. To open it, using your thumb to open it is awkward because of how small it is, I think. You kind of have to hold it like that. I use my middle finger or index finger to open it. This side. It just pops open. It opens up really hard, almost instantly. Now, this is a great knife for that. As you can see, the closing mechanism that I'm struggling with, this little slider right here, that's the downside of this, is it's kind of hard to close, but that's a trade-off compared to this. Much easier to close. Well, close one-handed at least. There's a tiny bit of wiggle room. Tiny bit. It's barely noticeable. I don't think it's an issue, but just something to consider. This blade is 2.5 inches. I think if it was 3 it would be perfect, but you can't have everything you want in life. It's surprisingly useful for how small it is. I was babying this knife when I first got it, but then after a little while I decided, I'm just going to use it like any of the rest of my knives, and it works just like the rest of my knives. Surprise. You can just go to town with it. It's solid. You're not going to break it. So, the blade is AUS-8 steel, which is a medium quality steel. It came really sharp and it stays sharp. So, it's good quality steel. It's not the best out there, but it's still very good quality. This drop point shape is very useful for the everyday kind of tasks that this knife is going to be needed for. One weird thing about it, if you look from this angle, the tip is asymmetrical. This side here seems to sweep in before the other side. I've noticed that also on the Flash 2. I don't know how well you can see it. I'm not sure if that's intentional. I think it is. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is for, but it doesn't interfere with the working of this knife at all. As you notice, this knife has no jimping on the back of the blade. Who cares? It's not a ninja killing knife. I prefer non-serrated knives, but when I bought it they had the serrated in stock. I prefer the plain blades, but if you don't sharpen your knives regularly, you're going to want serrated, because if you need to cut something and this part is dull, the serrations are still going to go through it. Or if you're, say, cutting rope, serrations come in very handy. As far as quality, this knife is, I think, assembled in the US, made in the US. It's not a very cheap knife. It's $70 for a pretty small knife, but totally worth it. The quality of materials and finish on this knife, the blade coating, is nice. Has some glue and stuff from cutting open boxes, tape and all that. Having a small knife in your knife collection, I highly recommend it, because there's going to be situations where you're not going to want to be carrying something this big and this heavy in your pocket. Like I was saying before, if you're wearing a suit or if you're wearing gym shorts or something. This knife is something you can always have on you. It doesn't look weird. It's really light. It's 2 ounces. This would be a very good knife to get wife or girlfriend, because it's quality, it's sharp, it's fun to play with. We'll get them hooked on knives, they'll see what the fascination is. And it's very convenient to have on you. With this knife, I can always have a knife on me. I have a rotation of knives, but if there's a situation where I can't carry a bigger knife, this knife will be on me. So that's it for this review. Kilroy out.